Hey guys, welcome to yet another video where I'll be sharing with you 5-minute tips on how you can improve yourself as a photographer. My name is Takunda P. Smith Chikomo, and this is 5-Minute Mastery. In this video, I'll be sharing with you tips and tricks on how you can find your niche as a photographer. And without further ado, let's quickly jump into it. Point number 1, try as many styles as you possibly can. This is just you making choices by elimination. Try portraiture. If you don't like portraiture, you can put it aside. Try landscape photography. If you don't like landscape photography, put it aside. I have a very good friend of mine who said he wanted to do wedding photography, portrait photography, but he just didn't like interacting with people. Hence, now he is making landscape photography. Matthew Cargill of Matthew Cargill Photography. I don't know if I should be saying this, but anyways, he has an entire career with just being a landscape photographer, and that is quite inspiring. So what I'm saying is try as many things as you like, and then you can niche down and find what it is that you might be able to identify and see as your number one niche. Point number 2, notice what energizes you. Personally, I love doing portraiture because especially when I'm working with one individual, there's a certain interaction that we have. There's a certain trust and rapport that you build with a certain individual when you're working together. And this for me energizes me because we are communicating how we're feeling and we are communicating the vision of the story as how we want to tell it. So I found that in my area of expertise, portraiture always works best. Hence, I love portraiture and telling stories, particularly of certain individuals, without having to complicate the set and how I'm working with individuals. So for you, you can find whatever it is that energizes you. If you like going on raves, if you like going on parties, maybe event photography is your thing. If you enjoy traveling and being in a stationary position for a long time, maybe wildlife photography is your thing. Hence, you can try that as is and build off of that. But you start by elimination, finding so many styles, and then you niche down to what truly energizes you. Point number 3, listen to what your clients give as feedback. I've often realized that so many times my clients, when I work with them, they're always impressed by how I communicate with them professionally and the rapport that we build. So I often find that I connect with individuals as a photographer. So that for me is what I've always built up on. Even with the Google reviews that I get from my clients, there's always an element of Takunda was professional, Takunda was friendly, Takunda was in his nature, he was just beautiful to work with. So I've often find that I work best when I'm interacting with people, and this has helped with how my brand is. So that's now when you niche down and listen to what your clients give and say. So that for me has always worked in that regard. Point number 4, identify what is missing in your local market. Excuse me for that. Identify what your market has and see if you can find an alternative way and still be able to give value and uniqueness to the market, because we cannot run away from the fact that yes, the industry might be saturated and it favors the outliers more than it favors everybody who follows the grain. So you can also be an outlier. You can try as much as possible to be an outlier and see if that works for you. Because yes, some people are comfortable following the grain. However, there are others who are like, I do want to set something new. I need to set a certain standard for how I deliver my photography or how I even capture and tell people stories. So that will be then you separating yourself from the chaff and making sure that your delivery and your work is unique. Point number 5, align your niche with your lifestyle. I particularly enjoy taking photos of events, particularly your poetry events. I've worked with Slam City, which is Cape Town's most premier poetry gathering. And me, myself, being a storyteller, myself being a poet, I've often find it easy for me to photograph an event where I am also understanding how the poet is embracing themselves on stage and how they are telling that particular story, because I understand what it means and how it feels like to be on stage, expressing your feelings and making yourself be heard. So I also want to bring that out when I take those photos of the other poets and people who are on stage. Similarly with musicians and artists, because I am an artist, I always try my best to also tell the story of the artist by how I capture images of performing artists, musicians, bands, and whatnot. So this then is in alignment with my lifestyle. That was point number 5. If you stuck around, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you all feel like you also want to contribute to this channel, there's a Buy Me a Coffee. You can go to my Buy Me a Coffee, make a donation as your heart gives, as you like. I would truly appreciate that, as this goes into making sure that I enhance the quality of my production and also the quality of the work that I give out to you. So without further ado, I'll jump into the bonus point, which is don't fear niching down. You can pivot later. You see? There is beauty in finding a unique way of telling a story. Because when you have a niche, people will know who to go to. And there's no problem, or there is no shame in you then saying, I found my niche, but I can then also pivot into other areas which is still align with my niche and grow as this. Particularly, I enjoy taking portraiture and telling stories of individuals. How do I niche into pivoting that? I also tell these stories in event photography within particular artists. So I'm still within my area of expertise, but also I am niching down and pivoting so that at least it's a fully armed spider. So that is as is. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching. I truly enjoyed making sure to deliver these videos to you without them as is. Until we meet again next time, my name is Takunda Peace Means Chikomo. Adios.